Hello, welcome to my Pack South a challenge tutorial of sorts. This is not a speedrun tutorial, I'm only going to be covering how to complete the objectives. Okay, so you can make your own speedrun routes. Yeah. Okay, so we're starting off. The first place that we're going to be going is the glass maze. I should also point out that you might see in places I skip ahead a little bit. That's just because I accidentally recorded unneeded footage. Don't worry, I'm not missing out anything. Just to show you, that was just me running down, but I accidentally went up to that point and realized I didn't need to go there. Yes, so you're going down here to the glass maze, and when you step on the pressure plates, the little glass entries open. The way I'm going is the actual way to go to complete this puzzle. I should also point out that for some parts, to speed up the recording of this, I did enter creative mode just to quickly fly back up to a point if I fell. But everything that you see recorded here was done in adventure mode, which is what you spawn in. So I've edited out the creative mode, flying back and stuff, just to show you that you don't need creative mode to do any of this stuff. It was just to make it easier for me to make this video. Yes, now you've gotten the brown wool from down there. The next wool we're going to be going to is in the place called Hollow Hill, which is a Twilight Forest themed section of sorts. And it's the orange wool. So you're going to jump down here and go around. And then you need to jump onto the center down here and jump onto the glass panes. And then you reach the orange wool. Okay, so the next thing we're going to is called Slip and Slide, and it's a roadblock puzzle. You can just start there, but I find it much easier to start up from here. And you can jump down like that, and then jump down here. Now, when you're jumping onto these things and land, you need to hold shift, otherwise you will fall off. As you can see, I held shift there, so it slid me, but it didn't let me fall off. And I hit there, get the red wool, and now I'm going to head back, and you can see that I fell off, but because of roadblocks being slippery, it gave me a little of a speed boost. Yes, I'm going back up here. I'm going to the hedge maze, and the hedge maze is a group of webs. But to get there, you need to go through a very dark section, as you can see here. So to combat the darkness, I've turned smooth lighting off. If you turn smooth lighting off, it makes it a little bit brighter, so you can see the floor just a little bit. It might be hard to see on the video, but if you're testing in game, you can definitely see the difference between having smooth lighting on and smooth lighting off. Okay, so you go through here and you follow this pathway. Make sure you follow this exact route, otherwise you'll hit a dead end. There is nothing interesting in that chest over there, just in case you were wondering. Then you come down here, and you have to sink through this web. There's no way to speed up going through this web, you just have to go through it. So yeah, don't worry if you can't get a quick time for the first time. My first time was around 2 hours and 51 minutes, but my fastest time now is around 16 minutes, which isn't the best that I've seen, because no one else is uploading any videos. Yeah, okay, so you're gonna get the green wool over here, and we're gonna just jump down and go to this levitator platform, and this will take you up to the levitator section. Yep, you go up the levitator and to go up here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go grab a night vision potion, so that allows us to see in the dark. After you've done this a few times, you won't even need it. In fact, we're going to do the levitator puzzle now. That's pretty simple. It's just jumping up and down over these pathways. I fell down 4 times previously, so I've cut them out for you so you don't need to see me falling. This is one of the harder puzzles to do consistently, so if you plan on speedrunning, make sure you've practiced this a few times because you'll probably fall off many times. One strategy I can give is that when you're when you're at the top, you'll probably bob up and down. You want to leave when you're like at the top of the bounce. So I'll show you what I mean. You can see here, you're on this one, you reach the top and you bob up and down at the very top. You want to move forward when you're at the top of the, bobbing at the top. Then you'll go to this last one here, grab the piece of wall and head down to go to the next puzzle. Okay, so now we're going to go to Temple Down. By the way, the previous puzzle was called Temple Levitate. Temple Down is this one. So what you've got to do is you've got to jump down like this. You can see I cut out a little bit because I fell off before. Yeah, this is a quick way to get down. There's no real strategy here, it's just, if you keep doing it, you'll eventually be able to do it pretty much every time. These fence jumps are the hardest, so make sure that you're focusing when you're doing them. Okay, so you've gotten the light grey wall. Now we're going to go to the bridge. Sorry, Bridge to Nowhere is what it's called. Oh yes, that puzzle was called Temple Drop, not Temple Down. My mistake. You're gonna get up here. You can see that night vision's running out when it, blinks on and off like that. Okay, so you jump there, there. This is one of the easiest ones to do. Just gotta keep up. And there you go, you got that wall. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the pirate ship. The pirate ship is a short puzzle, but it's got a difficult jump inside it. You'll see what I mean when you're getting inside it. So to get inside the ship, you need to go around it and climb up the ladder. You can see the ladder over here. Go inside, and you can see that across there you've got the green puzzle. So all you got to do is you got to just jump on here, jump to there, and across. I believe you can go the other way on the yellow and red part, but it's a lot harder to get past. Anyways, once you've done that, you've got to jump underneath the boat to get outside it. And now we're going to be going to the Zeppelin. So in the Zeppelin, you've got to climb up the rocky wall on the side and try and jump onto the plank, I guess you can call it. So You can see where my crosshair is pointing right now is the stairs that you're aiming for to reach. Just make sure you look for these stairs that I'm jumping on now, and you'll see this is where you want to find. Then once you're here, you've got to jump onto this other little ledge, and then jump onto the Zeppelin. You've got to grab the pink wall, and hop off the Zeppelin. It's an elevator, so you just press shift on that to go down. Okay, so the next puzzle is called Skull Rock. If you are familiar with Open Blocks pencils, it uses the hidden blocks from the hidden pencil blocks to kind of like make an invisible jumping parkour section. So you can see that the title of this, the clue there is called Mirror Mirror on the Wall. It might be hard to read in this, but it does say that. So you can see that on the other side of the wall you've got the blocks that you jump on. It's pretty much mirrored. There's a little bit of a difference, but it's mostly the same. So you just run and try and sprint and jump onto there. And you'll notice how you didn't fall, but you can't really see what you're on. But there is something there. So if you hold shift while you jump, or whatever your snake button is while you jump, you won't fall off. Please notice there's also nothing in this corner here, so you will fall off if you're not sneaking. When you get to this edge and you can't walk, just hold shift and jump forward, and you'll land another platform where you can reach the button. Now if you were a bit like maybe speedrunning this, you can go back up, you can jump onto this stone block here. There's a little platform to jump onto and to get out of it quickly, but it's a bit difficult to do, so I'll let you try and figure out that on your own. So you can just jump off here, climb up the ladder and get out of this room. Yeah, the next part that we're going to go to is the archery section. In the archery section, I'm not sure if it's bugged, but if you hit the right two targets, then you don't need to hit the third one to win. Yes, if you just hit the right two targets, the center and the right, then you'll win. We'll get the piece of wool. So once you've done it, you'll notice that there's fireworks in the background. And two pieces of wool will come in. Not sure why there's two. I'm pretty sure it's a bug of some sort. But just only take one of them. You don't need the other one. In fact, it might clog up the barrel if you put in another one at the end. So now we're at the obelisk. Obelisk is probably the hardest of all the puzzles to do. So this will take a lot of time getting used to. So basically, you have to, the whole time you'll be jumping on top of the ladders. There's a few times where you'll be using the actual ladders to climb up as it's supposed to be, but most of the time you'll just be climbing on top of the ladders. So you can see how I've jumped around the corner. Just practice on the other corner, the first corner, and you'll get it eventually. But just the whole time while you jump around the corners, hold shift, and you'll eventually figure it out every time. So you can see if you hold shift and just try and maneuver your way around the corner, it'll work. Okay, so now you want to hop onto the ladder to climb up the wall. So what you're going to do is you're going to fall back a little bit and quickly press shift to get onto the ladder so you can climb up it. So make sure you're holding shift and backwards to make sure you're on the very edge. Tap backwards very quickly and press shift and you'll hop onto the ladder. And then just maneuver your way up until you get onto that ladder and you're inside the obelisk. So if you just run through it, you won't fall or anything. Just make sure you get to the other side and don't fall out the other side. You'll find your way, and you need to hop onto this ladder again using the same method by going back a little bit and pressing shift like that. And you're jumping there, jumping around the corner, and from now on it's a lot simpler. There's none of the trying to hop onto ladders. So if you just hold forwards here, you don't need to press any jumping because you've got enough forward momentum to jump onto them. Then you've got to jump after that though. And now you're almost there, you just jump there, there, and you're on top of the obelisk. Now if you just jump off here, you'll probably die. Actually, you will die, so you need to kind of break your fall with the ladders. So try and jump off and land on a ladder to slow you down. Okay, now we're going to the castle. And the castle is one of the biggest things you can skip the main parkour section of, because you can just walk around it and get to the end. But I'll show you what I mean when we get there. Okay, so normally you'd go here and you'd do this lava section and try and get onto that platform over there, but that's pretty complicated, so all you need to do is just turn around, jump up here, and go here. And there's a conveniently placed pressure plate which opens up a side passage to get inside without doing that lava section. Make sure you don't fall in the lava. Okay, so now you've got a portal room. Inside this room you've got to go through specific ways. So the first thing you go through is the blue one, then you go through the green one, then you go through the red one. And you'll end up here. Then you've got to hop on these pads that jump you across the pillars. Just follow this path that I've got here, and it'll take you to the right one. And then you'll get to the end, press the button, and just wait a couple seconds and it'll teleport you back to here. I'm just going to show you here that if you die, you won't lose your inventory, because you've got the keep inventory game rulers on. So just hop in there and to quickly die so you go back to spawn. Okay, so there's 3 pieces of wool left, and the next one we're going to is at the helix. So you can see here that you've got different places to teleport to. We haven't unlocked the one before, that was for the factory, which we'll be going to in a moment. Here we're teleporting to the helix. You can see that over there was where the castle was. So yeah, we're just jumping up the blue side first. Make sure it's the blue side. And at the top of this pillar we've got another piece of wall. And then we jump onto the red side and into the factory, which is one of my favorite places in this map. It's quite a way up. And you just click on that button, get the purple wall, and you've got to jump onto the red side. So this part was made by Parcel. You might know him from Material Energy Cubed. They're the jam-packed winner. And you can see some of those references to Material Energy Cubed here. Okay, so now you've got a parkour section, which when you press the buttons it creates the different parkour sections to go to. And every parkour section you complete, you click the button at the end and you'll create the new section. Okay, so yeah, you can jump down onto the bottom section to get up here, but I prefer just jumping onto the ladder and getting across to the start if you fall off. Anyways, this is pretty simple. Make sure you're not sprinting when you're jumping across here, since these only require just regular jumps. You don't need a sprint jump to get onto these. And now you need a sprint jump to get onto this one. And once you get on that, press the button, and this next section will be created. Okay, so again, this is pretty simple. Make sure you're jumping here across to that one. Don't jump to the lower one and up, because it's a bit more difficult. And you just got to go across more pillars. It's quicker this way. You will have to like sprint and jump for some of these. But you know, it just depends on which one you're doing, but you'll get used to it. And then you drop down to this one, press the button, and now you've got to go into this trampoline-like section. So this slime block of sorts here is kind of like a trampoline. You need to jump on the very back of the slime block to go forward. So you can see there I jumped on the front, just to show you what happens if you jump on the front. if you jump on the very back, it'll launch you forward enough to jump over here and down the hole. Go down here, press the blue button, get the blue wall, and then you're going through this part here. If you've played Antichamber before, this part's a bit like Antichamber, but that's just another game. So yeah, you're just going down this path. Once you've found your way, you'll get out of here, step on the pressure plate, and we're back at the start. So now there's only one piece of wall left to get, and that's at the beehive. The beehive's also pretty hard the first time you get to it. Yeah, so the quickest way to get to the beehive from here is just to take these pads down. So jump down. And the beehive's just up this mountain coming up, or this cliff of sorts. Okay, so now you're inside the beehive, you needed to take the levitator up. Don't hug the wall is my first suggestion, because if you hug the wall and jump like that, then you won't get a full jump. You need to stay off the wall the entire time and jump like that. You need to be jumping on the very edge of every block, because each block's about as far away as it can be for the possible distance. I usually look down at the block as I'm jumping to make sure I'm jumping on the edge. And there you go, you got the block. That's the last piece of wool you needed, so now we just need to go to the monument. Take a little bit of a jump down. So you go to the monument, place the wool in the barrel, and we'll win the game. Now it'll say I cheated because I went into creative mode for part of it to fly back up for the purposes of this tutorial. You can see here, just place the wool in the barrel, like that. And there you go. You've just won. It'll say I've cheated, but I've explained that. So yeah, thanks for watching.